Namaste. What a beautiful coined word, Vasudeva Kutumbam. I think that's one of the most wonderful words that India has given to the world. Like so many other words, Rasool Pukuti once told at the Oscar Awards that Om, the word that encompasses all the sounds of the world, comes from this land. And I think we are really proud of our land. Thank you so much, Namita ji. She calls me over and over again, and I wonder what to say at such beautifully organized conclaves with such wonderful entrepreneurs, women who have so much experience in so many different fields, from education to agriculture to everything that is to say. And I'm always amazed at the kind of work the young women are doing all over our country, and hats off to them, their spirit, putting together their own ambitions, their family, their children, everybody together. Women really are multitaskers, and I think we need to give an applause to each one of you for yourselves. So I was wondering what to say today, because there is so much that all of you know already, and there's nothing much to say. And speaking is always an issue, What do you say? You need to say something different to keep the attention of each of you, So I decided I'm going to tell a story that I held this story for more than 15 years in my heart. And I met this woman in 2007. I happened to read a small book called The Last Hurrah. And it was about this woman who took her son's life, which was medically anyway, she already knew that he's going to die of DMD. And she knew that he doesn't have much of a life. Sujata, the woman, she decided to make each day of his life beautiful. And she decided whatever he desired, she would give. She had to walk out of her home, a small village home. She's not an educated woman, she's just a mother. And that just is underlined several times. So, she had to walk out of her home because her husband decided not to support the child. He said that, he is a lost investment, because anyway he's going to die. Why do you want to waste money in his education, physiotherapy, medicine, etc., etc.? So she walked out of the house, leaving her young daughter, because she knew that the daughter would be taken care of by her husband and her in-laws. She took this boy on her back because he couldn't walk by the age of 10. Took him, and she didn't know where to go. She went to this place called Tirupati, and she said somehow she will find an answer. She stayed in one of the, Indian culture, whether it is a temple or a church or a gurudwara, has this amazing culture of, letting people stay and give them food, So it was just an ashram there, and she went and stayed there. And she was wondering what to do next. 21 days passed. The manager of that ashram said, Madam, you can't stay here, because 21 days is the maximum we let any individual stay and make use of this. After this, you have to leave, because by then you should have made a decision. And he saw her and said, you do one thing, just stay one night out and come back tomorrow. You can stay another 21 days. And then she went and stayed wherever, on the premises of the Tirupati temple, came back. But by then she came to know about Puttaparthi, and she found out from a gentleman there that there could be some kind of medical help she could get for her son. The son's name was Venkatesh. So she took Venkatesh and went to Puttaparthi, and there she found a family. A complete town became her family, that held her and her son together. After a break of 4 years, he did his 10th grade. He passed all the 5 grades together. By then he couldn't walk, he could hardly write. But people just gave him the energy. Every day he would sit and listen to lectures. That gave him the spiritual energy. And Sujata did anything and everything just to see to it that he is able to do what he wants to do. He wanted to play football, cricket. And then she said, that's not the way you think, because you can't walk. He said, I need to do something. He got into depression because he was just on his bed in one room. And then she found out about chess. She learned, she trained him, she got him a little computer, and he learned chess. And he went up to the semi-finals, Indian Chess Championship. Of course, his medical condition was also catching up. He opened a little chess academy and he taught kids to play chess. And then, he couldn't do much. And in his last days, when he knew his death was near, at one point he learned that he can donate his organs. And, he told his mother, my last wish. He had several wishes in his life which his mother fulfilled. Come what may, she would do. See to it that she could fulfill his wish. And she said, I can't do this because, you're going to die of a cardiac arrest or a respiratory issue, so you can't donate your organs, you know that. And he said, there's something called euthanasia. I can make a decision to die, so I can donate my organs. Yes, when I met Sujata, she was in tears. And, she was just telling me the whole story, and she said, you don't know what went through my brain and my body. I said, I know exactly because I'm also a mother, And she said that she approached the legal system. They spoke about it at the High Court of Hyderabad, and they said no. She re-appealed, but you can't have euthanasia in our country because it will be misused drastically. So anyway, he died without Sujata being able to fulfill his last wish. But in the end, I just learned, like Sujata said, I felt that he had the spirit to live till the last minute. Though his body was giving up, his mind did not. And what did Sujata do? Gave him the wellness that we are all talking about. That one woman, beyond her ability, she went all the way to do anything. Whether it was physically, whether it was physiotherapy, she learned what to do. Whether it was his food, whether it was his, spiritual health, whether it was, psychologically keeping him, away from depression. Because it is very easy for any of us, 5 days you are ill and you are in a room, a person who is active, you feel depressed. This boy has been in one room on a bed for years. So, she took care of his complete wellness so beautifully. And it took me 15 years to convince somebody to make a film. I'm a filmmaker. What do I do with a story like this? I had to make it into a film. And thanks to a lot of people who helped me make this movie, and it was called Salaam Venki. It is called Salaam Venki. It was released in December. So Kajol played the mother. So this is a story I held very close to my heart, and I wanted to make the story. So, whatever I made, and but that is not the end of it. The beauty of it is the life still goes on. Sujata is still alive. She has her daughter with her, Sharada, who is taking care of her now in her old age. And it's so amazing. Every time I meet them, I'm amazed. But I think every woman in that way is amazing. My mother is amazing. She's 84 and she is taking care of my young child and my father, and I am able to work. Otherwise, how would I make movies and show it to you? How would I act in movies and stand on this dais and speak with you? So every woman, she has an amazing strength spiritually, She's a multitasker like nobody else. And I think that is what these conclaves are trying to bring. It is there within you. It is just asking you to recognize that spirit within you, to bring back the wellness in you. So, I don't have to say these things to the young people. They are driven by an energy which I don't know where it comes from, and that energy is so infectious. I find that, I should have learned this and done that. I want to be a farmer at one point. I want to be a scientist at another point. I want to be, somebody that Namita is doing. Every single woman inspires me. Yesterday, there was an incident that happened on the flight. There was this lady sitting next to me, Shruti Mangal. She's in the leather business. And she says she is practically one of the first women who takes care of production as far as leather is concerned, which means she works with workers in the tannery. And we just got talking, but it was not just about the work we were doing. Suddenly we were giving a lot of support to each other. I told her that I have a 10-year-old and she has a 23 and 25-year-old. She gave me some amazing gems that I will remember, which will help me bring up my child during the toughest period of anybody's life, which is the age of 13 to 19. They don't listen to us. We are, they would hate us. Every child hates their parents during this age. They don't want to listen. They defy everything. And she said, don't say anything. Just be there. Just be supportive. And after the age of 19, they will love you for what you did during these years. So that was a gem of an advice, and it just happened. So I realized that this is what, holding hands, sharing what you have learned from your own experiences, from your own life. This is another thing which women have to do and continue doing. And I think this is what the conclave is, sharing your experiences, opening out your heart, to be able to let the other person also grow and not feel jealous, not feel, not feel, kind of afraid, threatened by the other woman's growth. Because in our entire culture, unless the women are the pillars of the society, this society is not going to, succeed in what we are trying to do. Women definitely are the pillars, come what may. And I believe in it, and I know each of you believe in it. Because a woman takes care of the family's health, the family's spiritual health, physical health, mental health, in every which way. So I think that is the most important aspect, where we hold each other's hand and go forward together. And I think what the Prime Minister of our country has said, Vasudhaiva Kudumbam, that is really important. Now it's not just our country, because our children are all over the world, studying everywhere. So you want every society to be healthy, so that our children gain what they can. I just wanted to read a little writing that a friend of mine has written. When I am by myself with nothing to distract me, it's my body that keeps me company. It is my mind that keeps me company. So don't you think I should keep my body and my mind healthy? On that thought, I would like to say thank you for inviting me.